This programme is going to bring you all the action from the quarter-final between Andy Moss of Shropshire, who was a runner-up of this event back in 1997. He's up against Llay Burdett of the North Midlands. But before we get into that match, we're going to catch up with the final few ends of an excellent match between former champion Greg Smith and Phil Holroyd of Yorkshire.
Yeah, it's been a good performance once he got over the early game nerves, really. I think he's got a bit of a blind spot for this green. He struggled in the first game and he's just got over that now. I think he's found a mark, he feels comfortable, and you can tell the way he's playing, he feels comfortable. Philip's had his chances, don't get me wrong, but at 10 across, Greg played a really good ball to sit Phil out to get the chalk that started this 10 break, and looking like it could be an 11 break.
Yeah, it looks now as though he's going to see this opponent Philip Holroyd off, but Philip Holroyd will dig in.
Oh, good ball.
Yeah, try and cling in as Greg Smith lines up a fire here, because Philip Holroyd has just beaten his first ball. Sighting it up, tells the referee. Off he goes. Oof. Referee.
Well stopped, referee.
I mean, heck, he could be he could be in Sam Allardyce's squad next match. Oh, good shoes. Anyway.
Yeah, two good balls, Phil.
Yeah, two good balls, two very good balls. He needed them. The game was over if he wasn't claiming a score at this end, but now he's got a double on the scoreboard. He'll look at the scoreboard and think it's about time I go off 10, and it's now 12-20 as Philip Holroyd leads out.
He's trying for the corners again. Not a lot of option, really.
No, he's got no room for error. He's got just hope. He hangs on in there. Lead well first of all and make it hard for Greg Smith to get over the winning line.
He's going to have to lead a little bit better. I don't think that's just close enough. Another yard on would have been ideal. I'd expect Greg to beat them all day long.
Left-hander, looking at it, just urging it forward to go past that first ball of
going nice.
Yeah, of Philip Holroyd. I think it possibly not one. It might have just turned its head at the end and gone out. So he'll need a better one, Philip Holroyd. He's in the trot now.
Needs to stop.
Is he underneath and down off the green?
Can't win. They're pointing at Greg. Pointing at Greg. He's not going to have to send this ball.
No. Greg Smith takes the 1 and he takes the 21 and he wins 21-12 to book his place into the quarterfinals. And at the end of the day, Andrew Cairns, he had a little bit of a tricky moment, but once he established who was the boss, there was only one winner for me.
Yeah, you're quite right there. He just struggled early doors, but once he got going, there was no looking back. I call that a workman-like performance, really. It wasn't anything ultra special, wasn't a top draw, but certainly did enough and did it quite comfortably.
So an excellent win for Greg Smith, where you could see the quality of the balls were absolutely excellent, and Greg Smith moves through to the quarter-final. Now on to our quarter-final match, Andy Moss versus Llay Burdett.
Okay, back on the green now, quarter-final stage. Andy Moss against Llay Burdett. Andy Moss from Shropshire, Llay Burdett from the North Midlands, a level at 1-1. They've got an early feel each of the Jack Royalmson, who's in the commentary position now. Expecting a tight game?
Yeah, I have to say that I don't think many people know a lot about Llay Burdett from the North Midlands, but he's obviously, the family is very well known. I think quite a lot of the family are bowlers. Andrew Moss, of course, is well known, playing a typical Shropshire game. Plays about 27 yards round peg.
Yeah, he is a well-known player. Of course, he's been the runner-up. 1999 was a runner-up in this All England Championship. He was in the semi-finals last year up at Florence Private, so he knows what it takes to have a good run in this competition, and that could count a lot, Roy Armson, at this stage of the competition.
Yeah, good ball there, really good ball. Line 2 now.
Burdett, big Llay Burdett, wearing number 62, played 2 no balls.
Oh dear.
1 in the gutter, 1 10 yards short.
Oh dear.
And It's 2-2 Andy Moss. So far, so good for the Shropshire man. 21-12, 21-16 against a bit of a fancy runner in Scott Fisher in the second round, and Andy Thornton in the third round, a 21-15 winner. So fairly comfortable 3 wins for him so far, Roy Armstrong.
Yeah, playing again round peg, playing bias towards the ditch, just about 26 yards here. Typical Andy Moss mark.
Will be looking to go a step or 2 better than he did last year.
1 or 2 marks on this green, you know, Graham. They just seem to hang off a little bit. They don't seem to come up to the jack.
Yeah, they drift away, and he's caught him short again, and he's got away with his bad lead, Andy Moss, so he'll look to improve on that. Down he goes, and away he goes, and not much peg, Roy, you're right, is there? Not much peg towards the jack there.
I think if any certain parts of the green, you're probably better off just being inside the line of the jack.
This looks as though
this should win it.
I feel a lot better now. Andy Moss just taps his side and says not happy with that, not good enough, or referee is just asking him if he can sort himself out, so that the commentary team and the cameras can pick up the man in the red, which is Andy Moss, wearing number 49, and of course wearing number 62 is Llay Burdett. He's decked out well, Llay Burdett, Roy. He's got a blue shirt on and a blue cap. Looks the part.
He looks a rapper.
Brilliant. He's waiting his time, biding his time, thinking where to go. Early stages, quarter-final stage though of the competition in the Flow Fit British Crown Green Bowling Association All England Championship, all on one green now, packed to the rafters from all 4 sides of the green now. The bowlers have finished on number 2 green, and it'll all be done and dusted and decided here on the number 1 green. And at the moment, Roy, he hasn't settled down, has he, Llay Burdett?
Oh, he's playing some peg just underneath the crowd, probably about 29 yards here, but once again the ball's just hung off a little bit. At the moment the jack seems to be doing a little bit more than the bowls, which is most unusual.
Yeah, Andy Moss has not punished that either. Now then, he might have got a better line here. We're right behind it, but it's short, a good distance from the jack, so Moss, who's fancied to win this game, will be looking to get straight back on and claiming the jack off Llay Burdett. If he gets a clear run, Roy, should just do enough.
Yeah, good ball.
Crowd getting noisier by the game now. And how does this affect the players, Roy? You've been in these stages in your competition in many times, of course, where the crowd is at you and on top of you. Does it affect your play, or can you take it away?
It all depends on the player, you know. There's an old saying in any sport, mental toughness, and you have to have mental toughness here, and your temperament will be severely tested, because round about now the lemonade's been flowing all day, and some of these people here are getting very boisterous, shouting for the money, which they're entitled to do.
Exactly, yeah. The bootmakers will have Greg Smith, the hot favourite, but all these players who are in the last 8 will be fancying it's their turn, and there's some real top county players here at the closing stages. I'm just waiting to see now whether Burdett's won that one with his first ball. Andy Moss down. Nice delivery, neat and tidy. Likes to go this, 28, 29, 20, 30 yard mark. Just enough, draws it. Could be line 2. Big test for Burdett now. Can he produce one, Roy Armstrong?
Chance for this.
Yeah. Settled him down that. Needed to beat those couple of Andy Moss balls. Did so. Takes the jack. Llay Burdett trailing 4-3 in the quarter final. Heading down for the corner. Right-handed. Thumps his thigh. Not happy with that. Drifted down the line
Yeah, watching the bowling today, Graham, you know, it's I don't think there is an awful lot in this green in terms of being difficult. I think there are just 2 or 3 speeds, and talking to the Welsh players before the game, they call it one of their flatter greens.
I can see that, Roy, yeah, from where we are in the commentary position. It's just that little bit of difference in pace here and there. That's if you can position the jack in the right place. But at the moment, this game hasn't just sparkled into life. Both players are finding it difficult to play them close, but sometimes you don't have to play them close and just count the scores. Moss now looking to get down and claim the jack back, but he's certainly gone past the jack, and it's an end that's... they're all over the place, Roy.
Yeah, I think what might be happening now is that with the sun having gone in, the green will start to go a little bit slower, and the players are finding it difficult to pick up the length.
Just waiting to find out whether it's 1 or 2. Moss fancies it's 2. Burdett's looking, could be a call for the officials, who knows. Still no decision made yet. Have another look, another angle. Kicked him in, finally conceded. 2 it goes to Andrew Moss. Coming up towards the club house, commentary position where we are in these quarter-finals. Straight mark.
Going a little bit further now. Going about 29 yards here. Just missed the line again though. 2 yards away from the jack.
Yeah, they're both players finding it difficult to play them close at the moment. Wherever they've been on the green in the opening stages. Not sure he's going to be reaching here, Andy Moss. Definitely pulls up quick up this end of the green, Roy.
Yes, all this part of the green, from here to the left-hand corner, the slowest part of the green.
Referee's looking at it, points towards the red ball, which will mean Burdett, who's bowled this very quickly and off the land and thrown it away, will only count 1. Need to be doing a little bit better than that, although Andy Moss hasn't conceded yet. Referee called for the measure, Roy. Referee said that Burdett was in. Andy Moss wants convincing. Red ball in, Burdett 1. Good judgment by our match official. And the score is 6-4 in Andy Moss's favour. Off he goes down into the corner. Roy, is he looking to go a full corner length if he can get in here? Is that would be the tactic? What are your thoughts of him?
I think he wants to go further, and he's playing thumb peg here, straight underneath the ground, straight peg, and I think he's maybe not too bad here. He looks on the line to the jack.
Yeah, he likes that. Oh, beautiful. Toucher, side toucher. Better lead, best lead of his game so far. Well, what are you tipping this one, Roy?
Just too low. Speed wouldn't allow it to bend.
Yeah, just underneath with the speed, so he's got to get up for 2 and probably would like one in front or away from the jack and make a big target, which he is going to do, Roy. Wow.
I'd sooner have them there than have to beat them.
Yeah, exactly. Does he strike or not? It doesn't look like he's striking.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is a striker, Andy Moss. I think he prefers to play through.
Yeah,
he's underneath again.
So he's drawn himself back on level terms. Llay Burdett from the North Midlands. I think it could be the outsider of the pack at the moment when you look at the players that are still fighting to be the 2016 champion, of course. But here he goes, heading for the corner now.
Yeah, he's played about 35 yards here. Finger peg straight through the centre of the green, coming into the quicker part of the green. Good length.
Yeah. Looks a better line for me, Andy Moss, whether it, yeah, right on the jack line. Nice little touch. And this is off the line as well, Roy.
Yeah, can't reach.
There should be a cheap 2 here for Andy Moss. We've got back on level terms, Llay Burdett. Mind you, that looks as though it's travelling a little bit, Roy.
Yeah. Very wayward.
He's missed a chance there to be 2 in front. Only 1. Llay Burdett smiles. Andy Moss just about raises a smile. Won't be too happy with that second ball. 7-6 for the man wearing number 49. Out they go. Change of scenery, change of area of the green from Andy Moss. A shorter mark, Roy, this time.
Yes, only about 26 yards here. Round peg, finger peg, bias towards the ditch. Very good lead. That's normally the hallmark of Andy Moss's game. He's usually a very good leader to his jack.
What about this, Roy, if it's reached?
Chances. Good ball, lad. Good ball.
Terrific ball. Make him feel better that way. Moss might just have to play a little bit through to try and nudge the front ball onto the jack and hope Lady Luck is on his side. That was his aim. Didn't work. Got connection, but Burdett's in.
Very good effort. He's stopping the 2. I don't think Llay Burdett dare play this ball because his ball is actually touching the jack. Any connection on that first ball and the jack will go to Andy Moss.
See what he does. Now he's played wide, missed the target, and satisfied with 1. Sun beginning to shine again, Roy, so it could be green condition change in the final stages if it continues that way. As you mentioned earlier, the sun went off it, took a bit of base. 7 all, 11 ends gone. Andy Moss out of the traps early doors. He's got a couple of doubles already on the scorecard. Llay Burdett just 1 double. 7 all going into the 12th end. North Midlands County against the Shropshire County.
Good lead there. Only about 10 inches off the jack. Going thumb peg, just underneath the crown. Now this looks too low.
I think he'd love to get a run in the full corners, but he's just got to hold his land and his mark. He's got a good ball on, and now he'll be looking to get up there for 2, pressurise Andy Moss, then hope he can get in and go for the corners. I'm pretty sure that's in the back of his mind. As Roy Olmston picked out early in commentary, Andy Moss likes that 24, 28 yard length. Is he short, Roy, or
he's too low again?
2, they're up quick, and he hasn't reached either. And for the first time in the game, Llay Burdett has taken the lead. So he's gone to 9-7 up now, Llay Burdett, having found his self a little bit struggling in the early stages.
Got somebody measuring a mark, and he's got one end just off the centre of the green, which is a bit of a balker.
Anyway, here we go. He's come down the corners.
He's coming into the heavy corner now, not quite in the corner. Playing thumb peg, quite close to 38 yards this.
Leads 9-7, Burdett in the quarter-finals of the All England Championship. Bowlers from all various counties trying to become that champion for 2016. And he hasn't led particularly well. This is the heaviest corner. This is where he's caught them out all throughout the day. And Moss certainly reached this time. Needs to improve a lot, Roy. Can't give that room again.
Yeah, the pressure will be on these two chaps now because the crowd's building up, and of course amongst the crowd here there's about 400 experts who could all do as well.
That's just on one side. Yeah, green side full. Now then, what does Moss do here? Has he reached? He pulls up quickly here. I'm not sure. Just enough. Just enough, Andy Moss from Shropshire. And it's 1 to the red. Wearing number 49, and that'll mean the score says Andy Moss 8, Llay Burdett from the North Midlands 9. A lot of tactics being involved in where they're leading the jack, these players. Andy Moss is back on the distance that he will want, trying a different part of the green.
I always used to say about the Shropshire players, you know, if you had a fiver for every time they went straight peg, you'd be skint.
Yeah, fair comment. Fair comment.
They'd love round peg.
Yeah. Well, he's played a nice little round peg ball there, touched the jack, had the perfect weight, and he might be catching out Llay Burdett here by being too far. And he has. Down he goes, guides it out, strokes it down the line, could be short this time, won't be happy with his second ball. Chance for Burdett to think about what he does with his second ball, Roy, here.
If he plays round peg and plays it tight, took about 2 yards through it, you can get the jack or ball.
Well, he's played it through. We're on line for him doing exactly what you said, Roy. Oh, he's had no luck.
Unlucky. That was the shot, though.
Yeah, it didn't go his way. Got a connection, but then still drifted past the jack and out. And that means it's a level score guard at 9-all. Got a bit further this time, back up to the club end of the green. Placing the jack close to the edge.
Yeah, he's playing thumb peg here, about 28 yards. Right through the centre of the green. I think he's not too bad here.
No, it doesn't run past much here, so he'll be well happy. Yeah, good delivery, good lead. What do you make of this one, Roy?
Chances. Chances.
Crowd are happy.
Good ball.
Crowd are happy. Now then, he needs to pull one here, and he has done. Great ball, Andy Moss. Just tipped him out. It'll be the same ball really from his opponent, Roy.
Yeah, just needed a solid contact there, and that's it. That's exactly what he got. And Lee needs the same thing.
Trying for it.
Done the gap.
That's the difference. It's a very, very thin dividing line, but it is 1 to Andy Moss. That's the mat off Burdett. Looks up, strokes it out. Perhaps looking now to just stick on a mark to try and get some points on the board, to take him away a little bit, to give him a good advantage.
He's played finger peg, round peg bias towards the ditch. Will it bend in time? Not quite.
No. Burdett's been caught there, short of the jack. So Moss down, looking to get 2 on the scorecard.
He's got to miss it on the outside, which he has done.
Just about. Not a lot more in it, so he's got a bit of room if he can produce one here. It's a tricky mark. Well, this looks like it's running in as a winner, Roy. Yeah, good ball. Nothing to choose between these two players at the moment. It's going tit for tat, really. 10 all. Andy Moss from Shropshire, Llay Burdett from the North Midlands. Moss, the more of experienced player, of course. But there's been a few good wins for Llay Burdett today. He beat Mark Melvin 21-13, and he beat Mike Riley 21-19. And came through his last game with a 21-6 victory, so he'll be well pleased.
Yeah, I think with the experience that Andy Moss has got, you'd expect him to nail the jack a bit more often. But Lee's going into the corner now, in the right-hand corner of the green, playing about 28 yards here, playing straight peg, thumb peg, bias towards the crown.
Not a particularly good lead, won't be too happy with that. So Moss will look to take advantage if he gets a clear run. He hasn't. He's promoted that one to make it a lot better of a ball for Llay Burdett. So he bursts into a bit of a trot, the North Midlands boy. Going further this time, has he got a clear run? No, he hasn't, but he's just got a flick off that counts 2.
Bit of an awkward ball this now. There's certainly 2 balls in the way.
Well, he's reached, he's playing in off, and he's got a lady look on his side, and he's possibly won off that, Roy. He looks away and doesn't even want to check it out yet. Andy Moss just signals quickly, I'll take the 1.
Yeah.
So that looked as though that was going away from him, but there was a little bit of timber in the way, and he hit the timber, and he hit the jackpot to score the point. Andy Moss 11-10 up.
Going a little bit further here, playing thumb peg just below the crown, playing round peg, going about 30 yards here. I think it's a bit short, but it's only a bit.
It is, yeah, picked up a bit of speed towards the end of its run there, and they'll be fairly satisfied with that for his opening ball in this quarter-final match. Not sure Llay Burdett's going as quick. Moss will play one closer here with hope. Well, he's got a little bit more in it, Roy, and it looks to be a better ball.
That's more like the Andy Moss we know.
And he's thinking about he might have to clear the jack off here, because he'll have to have a perfect ball to even save 1. Never mind.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not got much of a target really, they're all in a line, so...
Here he goes. Does he hit? Does he connect? Turns his back? No, he doesn't. And that's 2 to Andy Moss. It could be an interesting lineup, Roy. In the semi-finals you could have 4 players who all know about this particular tournament, how it's going. You know, there's on course for a star-studded semi-final lineup, I think.
Yes, certainly. And I think Andy Moss is doing the right thing here. He's going a little bit further than he's previously gone. Once again playing round peg, finger peg. Decent lead, about 2 feet off.
Crowds gathered all 4 sides of the green. They're urging every ball on for the man that they fancying and favouring since they were off at 10 o'clock. Now we're into the real crunch stage They'll be smelling the first prize, and they'll be thinking about their name on the coveted trophy as well, as this All England Championship begins to reach its climax. Has Moss reached there? No, he's put it in the way, but not reached. Oh, good ball. Turned it into 2, kept himself in the game. Llay Burdett, that was an interesting end for him. He needed to score there, and not did he score 1, he scored a double. And now will lead out, trailing 12-13 in the quarter-final. The North Midlands man started off as one of the outsiders in the tournament, but Andy Moss was a fancied runner from once the draw was made. Decent lead by Burdett in this heavy corner. Now then, will Moss go past him? Oh, nice little kiss. And just eases past him. And there he goes.
Well, he's played the right shot. He's got to reach up. He can hit anything. He can count. Like that.
Spot on. Played the cannon, got the cannon, and then it went. They might play through here. Andy Moss just surveying the scenery. There's only 1, so give him an opportunity to make his mind up which way he wants to play. He's played through.
He could afford to go through right at it with a bit of speed. That's what he's done.
Yeah, he likes it.
He's very close.
He likes it. And he's got it. And is it going off, Roy? No. Oh, great ball. Right strength, right line, and he gets 1 out of it. That was an important distance shot from Andy Moss from Shropshire. 14-12 he goes up now.
Yeah, that was a good end of balls. They both could have counted there.
Andy Moss just holding on to the jack a little bit, of thinking about his game now. Tried a few different distances. Onto the top of the crown.
Yeah, playing finger peg here. Playing round peg. All uphill to this position. Good ball.
Llay Burdett, looks like they've got more in it. Will need to stop or take a pick up of the jack. Failed to do that. Drifts by. Up he goes, Andy Moss, looking to make it a double. Just done enough. It's a bit of room, but it's on a tricky area of the green. Asked if it's 2. Moss yet to make a decision. Llay Burdett, 14-12 down. Played to hit the jack, but it's gone the same way as the first ball, but it's only 1 down. So 1 more to Andy Moss. 15-12, nice 3-point advantage. Might just be on the mark now that he wants to stay on Roy Armson.
Yeah, let's see where he's going to go now. He's going to go shorter. Much shorter.
Down to the clubhouse.
Playing some peg. Only about 25 yards here. Not much behind the jack at all.
No, it isn't going to go past it. He's going to play a dead weight ball. Nice lead to the side. Pushing Llay Burdett out first of all, hoping he'll get the peg. But if he's not here, won't peg enough. Moss on for one. Down he goes again, playing inside, leading out inside what Llay Burdett was doing, but it's short. Will it make two? No. Now Burdett needs to be pushing this ball out. Could win without a push out. Close, Roy.
Very close.
Moss might think he's still in, waiting for Burdett to come along. No, he's pointing to his opponent, so good draw in the end by Llay Burdett. Do stop quickly up this end of the green. But the final game on the green, this one, in the closing stages of the quarter-finals of the Flowfit British Crown Green Bowling Association All England Championship. The other games will be more or less completed before this game reaches its closing stages.
He's going quite a long way here. Going about 35 yards, finger peg, downhill finish.
Past the jack, Roy, they go off, don't they? And it goes into the gutter.
Yeah.
Not what he would have wanted. Well, Andy Moss will just hope that he's going to make Llay Burdett make the same mistake twice, get him to play up, go past the jack and be off the green. But then, if he's got enough in it, he'll make the one that counts. So he's got plenty of room, but he's got to go and make it a winning ball, Andy Moss.
Can he get past his own ball? That's the problem.
No. And it didn't seem as though there was a lot of strength in it if he had. Well, he's just clawing away, niggling at his opponent, Llay Burdett, against Andy Moss. Tight game, nothing to choose between the two players now. The scoreboard will read Llay Burdett from the North Midlands 14 in blue with the jack to lead out, and Andy Moss in red from Shropshire 15. Now, I'm pretty sure it won't be a short mark, Roy Armstrong.
He's coming back into the heavy corner. Good tactics. It's the best tactics to adopt at this stage of the game. Make sure you keep the jack on, that's the important thing. This is quite a long way, very close to 40 yards. Coming thumb peg.
There's not many go past the jack at this end of the green. And again, he's short. They'll make Andy Moss hopefully play up.
Well, he's certain to reach.
And go past it. And is he underneath? Is he getting in and off?
Oh,
wow. And Llay Burdett turns away and feels disgusted in that shot. Wasn't a shot that he was actually playing, but you take anything. He needs to find one here. He needs to be on a better road and not to be too low. Has he reached, Roy? Not for me.
Short.
Yeah, that could be a big turning point now. 15-14, Moss's favour, one to play, stands one on. Could go 17-14 with plenty of room, only has to be here. On the road, doubles up, two for Moss. 17-14, Roy, in that little collision there that brought him on for that first shot. Could be a turning point in the game now.
Yeah, I think he was very likely to have been off the green with a miss. So you're quite right, a big turning point in the game, and now he's going to a situation where he can get to 19, where all the players want to do that. They get to 19, they think that they've got the winning post in sight.
Yet to deliver his jack. Going up to the scoreboard side of this particular venue. Fair distance though, again, probably 30 yards, Roy.
Yeah, playing finger peg, round peg. It doesn't peg very much here.
No, it doesn't, no. You could throw it, let's think it was a straight peg mark. Well, if he's got a length, Roy, he's got a good ball.
Oh, good ball.
Crowd appreciate that. Big cheer from the Shropshire contingent. Not too far away from here, Andy Moss, where he's based. Not sure Burdett's reached, looked on a good line. Not sure he's got there. Andy Moss closing in on victory, going up for the second to get him to 19 if Llay Burdett doesn't have any answers to this problem he's got to solve. Lies 2 down. Can't be short this time. Well, he's on a road. Does he get a clear run? He does. Does he reach? What a terrific ball. Unappreciated by his opponent and the crowd, Roy.
Fantastic ball, that. He had balls in his way and he had to pick out a perfect length, and that's what he did. That could be a lifesaver for him.
Yes, definitely. Stood 19-14 down on the scoreboard, but when the one chalks up on the number 62 name, which is Llay Burdett, it will read 15-17, and he's still hanging on in there, the man from North Midlands.
He's going to change the corner now. He's going for the corner near the clubhouse.
He's
gone back to the ring thing.
He's had a ring thing. He's had a bit of a Strictly Come Dancing turn there, Roy.
Yeah, gone back into the heavy corner.
Hasn't got it in the corner though, has he?
Oh, he hasn't. He's about 7 yards out of the corner. Quite safe here where this is.
It needs to be leading, and I don't think he has. No, it's not good enough. He won't be happy with that. Shakes his head. Moss is certainly further and underneath. Won't go much past the jack. Clips it, follows it through. Happy with that delivery. Burdett plays up this time. There's no doubt about that. Has he missed his own? If he does, no, that was the problem. Big room for 2 back for Moss. Moss looking to get here, just should do enough underneath. 2 more for Moss, kicked in. He goes to 19-15 and the final quarter-final match on the green here at the Llay Miners Welfare. And the man from Shropshire is getting closer to exactly the same position he was this time last year, Roy Thompson, when he was in the semi-finals at Florence. So he could be in a semi-final again.
That'd be great, that, wouldn't it, for him?
Well, here we go. Different area now, Roy, to try and win the game.
Once again, playing thumb peg, playing round peg, not pegging very much at all. Only pegging about 18 inches.
19-15, 2 for 21 wins the game for Andy Moss, but his opponent Llay Burdett will try and stave off victory. But that's a fantastic lead from Moss, showing that he can handle the crowds around the green now. He's comfortable, he's got a 4-point advantage. He's lying a good ball with his first. Now he'll look to just pass a short ball of Llay Burdett to put it in for 2 and say to Burdett, can you save the match?
Yeah, miss it any side, that would be what he'd be thinking about.
How's he looking for pace, Roy?
Pace is fine.
Well, he's done what you said.
Yeah.
Miss it any side. Now there's only one ball here, Roy. Unfortunately, I don't think he can get round to pull a great ball off. He's got a hit.
Finger peg.
With a connection, yeah, finger peg.
Finger peg strike.
Yeah, split them both. 19-15, Moss is on the verge of victory. Here goes Burdett. What's he done? Has he hit anything? No, he's only hit his own. Moss moves into the semi-final for the 2nd year in a row in the All England Championship. A 21-15 winner over Llay Burdett, and he'll be well pleased with that. The Shropshire bowler's got a good following here today, and he'll fancy he can go a little bit better than he did last year, Roy Thompson.
Yeah, I think just that greater experience in the game just showed at the end. Andy Moss started to put his leads together and put Llay Burdett under a little bit more pressure. A good win for Andy Moss.
So 21-15, 27 ends, and he finished off Moss. Interesting, Roy, last final point with, when he was on the score sheet, he got 3 twos. He finished off, not in succession, but out of the last 4 ends, he got 3 twos, Moss.
Well, that's what they all say, twos win games.
And that's what's shown on the scoreboard. 21-15, Andy Moss.
So all 4 quarter-finals are in. Matt Gilmore, who won this competition back in 2001 here at this venue, well, he had a 21-12 victory over Paul Dudley, and he's up against Greg Smith, who beats former champion Stuart Perry by 21 points to 10. Glyn Cookson, winner back in 1997, had a very comprehensive victory over Peter Farmer by 21 points to 6, and with Andy Moss's victory by 21 to 15 over Llay Burdett that we've just seen, we're going to have a repeat of the 1997 final between Glyn Cookson and Andy Moss. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.